Couldn't be clearer in the law. The point of an American intel agency is to monitor what happens in other countries and then report back to the President of the United States so that he can make better decisions about U.S. foreign policy. Period. That's why we have the CIA. That's the only reason we do. These agencies are not allowed to spy on American citizens because that would invalidate democracy. But they're doing it on a huge scale. And they're doing it on direct orders from the Biden administration. Not a conspiracy theory. It's verified. It's true. Now, new legislation from Congress seeks to stop that. This legislation has been introduced by Congressman Chris Stewart of Utah. The congressman joins us now to explain. Congressman, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. This is illegal. Nobody seems to care. We should care. What would your legislation do?
Well, to emphasize what you've already said, Tucker, the whole purpose of the IC intelligence community, NSA, CIA, and others, is to concentrate on foreign threats, foreign terrorism, of foreign nation states, Russia, China, North Korea. It was never, ever intended that they would look at U.S. persons until this administration comes along and says, you know, those other threats are important, but the real threat we're worried about is domestic violent extremism, DVEs they call them, white supremacy. And because this white supremacy threat is so great, which by the way is nonsense, but by their thinking, because this is such a great threat, now we need to use the power, the awesome tools that we give the National Security Agency or the CIA or the DIA. We are compelled to use those upon U.S. persons, the administration says. And that's why you have a situation like about a year ago where the Office of Director of National Intelligence, not the FBI, not Homeland Security, the DNI, using the tools of the National Counterterrorism Center, provides a briefing to Congress on what? White supremacy, on domestic terrorism. It should enrage Americans that they would think that they would allow them to use this awesome power. Hey, if you think you want to build an American KGB, if you think that's a good idea, then keep going down this road. But if you think it's a horrible, fearsome idea, then please work with me. I'm talking now my members of Congress. Please work with me to try and stop it.
So they've spied on this show. They've admitted it. I've spoken directly to two sitting members of Congress whose job it is to oversee the intelligence agency who told me directly that they were being spied on by the intel agencies and they didn't do anything about it. I wonder how many members of Congress are too intimidated to push back the powers of these agencies.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. But, you know, and it's not just members of the press. I mean, we know that the CIA and Director Brennan lied about it when they were spying on members of the Senate. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Tucker, if the last 4 or 5 years have taught us anything, it has surely taught us that senior members of the FBI and Department of Justice clearly were deceptive to Congress, deceptive to the FISA courts, deceptive to the American people. And now, once again, they want to increase that ability, to enhance that ability by drawing in these other agencies. And once again, there's no reason for it. There's no need for it. By the way, there's enough terror threats and other threats for them to, it's not like they've got extra bandwidth, like they don't have anything to do. And very clearly, the Department of Justice and FBI, that's their responsibility, not the CIA, not the NSA.
Exactly. So nicely put. We are rooting for you, Congressman Chris Stewart. I hope you'll come back and let us know who didn't vote for this. That'll be interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So for the course of the pandemic,